Welcome to yet another episode with Umar Khan. When was the last time you went for an interview, or in COVID days, when was the last time you had an interview and someone asked you, why should we hire you? And probably a lot of HR coaches have told you that go with what value you bring to the team. So I thought, why not talk about this? The value proposition that each of us has. What is the kind of value that we bring in different capacities that we have, in different aspects of our personalities that we have, and not necessarily to any job, but the value that we have, the value that we possess, and how that value translates into different forms of values. Now the question becomes, how can we talk about ourselves as a value bundle or as a product bundle or a value bundle, whatever you want to call it, just value bundle. The first and foremost is the financial value that we bring. If we're talking about a job, our skill set, whatever knowledge we have, whatever skill set we have, does that translate into monetary value for our employer, for the business that we're working with, for the partnership that we have, for the dealings that we're doing? Does everything that we do, does everything that we are translate into monetary success? Creation of assets, creation of more money. It could be more money for the company, it could be more revenue, it could be more profit, it could be lesser losses. So how does what we do translate into more financial value? So every time we go for a job, or every time we're having a conversation or reflection, think about that. How does whatever I do impact the financial value I possess? First and foremost, for myself, my family, then everyone else that I interact with. Whether or not it has financial value. If it does, short-term or long-term, fantastic. That is the financial value, which really pays the bills, which really makes the merry-go-round. Then we have the mental and psychological value. Now this one is tricky. A lot of people may have financial value, but they may not have mental value or psychological value for that matter. Mental value, yes, they might be smart, they might be very good at doing what they do, but from a very psychological perspective, they might not be wired in thinking how other people behave. From an empathy perspective, what's the mental value that I bring to this conversation, to this business, to this interaction, to this focus group, to a team of players trying to win a championship? Am I mentally strong to sustain that pressure when all bases are loaded and I'm the pitcher and I'm the hitter? He has had a stellar record against us. So what is my mental value, how I sustain that pressure when we're about to either win the game or lose the championship? The mental value that I possess, the psychological value that I possess, how that impacts me, and how my surroundings impact me, or how I let my surroundings impact me, my decisions, my process flows, and my communication, is what my mental value is what my psychological value is. What's yours? Then comes the emotional value. Where are we on the emotional scale? Am I the kind of person who's just going to get all flared up right off the bat in an interaction? Or am I the kind of person who's just going to stand there and observe and observe and observe? Is it really easy for other people to just press my buttons and have me react? Or they can try all they want, but they are not going to be able to provoke me. Am I an emotional person? What is my emotional value? Now, this may also mean if my emotional value is high, I place a very high price on not getting provoked. It's kind of reverse. My emotional value being high because I stay calm. I do not get going with the flow of emotions. So my emotional value combined with my mental value, my psychological value, help me move forward. So that's the emotional value. Then we have the spiritual value. And a lot of people would just tag along spiritual/religious value. So let's just talk about that. Religious value is simply, it could be a religious value. Are you religious by practice, or are you religious by your interactions? That's as far as I'm going to go in terms of religious value. Now looking at the spiritual value. Are you the kind of person who can sustain those conversations without getting angry? Who can appreciate that we do not know everything that there is to know, but still I want to be able to understand the greater design of things. It could be science, it could be religion, or it could be that fine line that we walk that we call spirituality. A lot of people you may have heard from, well, I'm not religious, I'm more of a spiritual person. Is that just a cop-out of calling yourself a religious person for different reasons, or that really is a thing? You decide on that. And then, in the very end, we have physical value. Am I physically able? Am I physically strong to take care of things? When I walk in, do I have that presence? Now that presence does not really have to be physical. So that physical value can be by virtue of your presence at some place. That, okay, Umair is here. Now let's see what we can do. Or value by virtue of being able to take care of things physically. Or being healthy, being able to participate in sports, being able to participate in physical activities, going camping, doing things, not being sick, not falling sick all the time. Physical value. So a combination of all these categories, which is financial, mental, psychological, emotional, spiritual, religious, and physical, is what makes us a value bundle. And that is the value we bring to not just a job, to any environment, to any gathering, any group, any setting. That could be a job you're doing, that could be a business partnership you're in, that could be a relationship you're in, that could be a podcast you're doing, that could be a training course you're running. It could be in any aspect of life. What is our value bundle? Where do we rank on that spectrum? Think about it. Think about where do you stand on your value bundle, your overall value bundle. And what you can do is a simple exercise. You can just go financial, mental, psychological, emotional, spiritual, religious, physical, and just score on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. And see for yourself, where do you fall on the value spectrum? And if you want to, please do share with us, or share with me for that matter. It's just me doing this, so share with me. I'd love to see that in comments. And if you happen to like what I'm doing, just hit subscribe. That way you'll know when I shoot some new videos and make those public. That way you won't miss anything. Your feedback, comments, concerns, always welcome. And if you happen to not agree with anything I said, I also want to see that in the comments. Till next time, take very good care of yourself, because that's the value bundle that is most important to you. Have a good day.